Hello, ladies and gentlemen, although I assume mostly gentlemen because ladies don't have, they're busy doing other things, productive things, besides looking up videos on the internet. Anyway, I'm Jeremy Rasmussen, host of the Jeremy Rasmussen program, weekdays 1 to 5 on the Bull, but you know that because you watched the title sequence. Anyway, this is the first inaugural Jeremy Rasmussen podcast, and I'm doing it with videos because I can show cute little pictures as I talk about the things that I don't have time, frankly, to talk about on the show. And actually, the thing I want to talk about on this edition of the podcast is a video we posted earlier this week that was related to a song we did on the show earlier this week, which poked a little fun at our student athlete, our good friend, Husker Niles Paul. And a lot of people reacted differently to it. Some people shared it on their Facebook, laughed about it, kind of looked at us like we were idiots. And then some other people were really upset about this, including some of our commenters on the video. These are just some of my favorites. Get a life, loser, and go to hell, which are all fantastic, well thought out, measured responses. But here's the point. Look, Niles is a student athlete. He's a Husker. I'm a big Husker fan. I really am. And I appreciate everything that Niles has done in his career at Nebraska. The problem is he called his own number, and on a big stage, he had bad luck, had some horrible timing in showing up for Niles, let's be honest. So when that happens, he opens himself up for a little bit of criticism, a little bit of fun poking, and that's what we tried to do here. It's just a joke. I didn't go after him personally. I'm not one of the people that wrote on his Facebook. I'm not one of the people that was standing in the parking lot yelling at him. I just wanted to have a little fun at his expense because he had a bad day, and frankly, we've all had bad days, and we know what it's like. So, Niles, you're a great Husker. I appreciate everything you've done, even though you've had some bad days. Whether it's dropping passes against Texas or fumbling against Iowa State. You've also had some great days like that Holiday Bowl and the Missouri game last year. And if you look at that picture of him from the Holiday Bowl there, frankly, I wouldn't want to mess with him at all. So, Niles, thank you for everything you've done as a Husker. Now that I'm done making fun of Niles, I kind of feel a little empty. You know, I feel I'm a radio host. I'm caustic. I'm sarcastic. I'm a little bit of a jerk. I'm really not happy unless I'm making fun of somebody and really ripping them apart. And so let's go ahead and rip somebody who has not accomplished anything in the world of athletics in their life, someone who has not even a speck of the athletic talent as Niles Paul. I'm talking, of course, about me. Yeah, look at that guy. Can we actually get a picture that's more candid and a better representation of me? There we go. Yeah, look at that guy. Doesn't that guy look like he's got some athletic prowess? That guy wouldn't catch anything thrown his way unless it was a package of Twinkies or some of these monstrosities. I don't even know what those are. Those are horrible. Let's talk a little bit about my athletic career. All right, I played football in high school. Yep, the Fightin' Raiders, the blue and gold of Logan View High School. And I was so good at football that after my sophomore year, my head coach decided that instead of suiting up and playing for the team, that I should probably film them from atop the press box. And in fact, I was so good at that the next year he asked me not to do it at all. So there was the basic end of my football career. And you know what they say, if you can't play, you coach, and if you can't do either of those things, you get on the radio and complain about the players and coaches. So that's exactly what I did. And even then, it hasn't necessarily always worked out for me. I've had some successes, but I had a talk show that was, very public thing, and a lot of people criticized the things that I did, and eventually the radio station that I worked for got tired of hearing it, and they took that show away from me. So I understand what it's like to be ridiculed in public. Don't get me wrong. I kept pressing on, and I've had some successes. In fact, let's take a look at my growing audience. Here's a look at the average audience members. Pretty cool guys right there, if you ask me. Here's a look at all the ladies that have been impressed by my show doing abilities right there. Yeah, you see that. And here is a list of the awards that I have won and the honors I have received for doing my radio show. Oh yeah, the trophy case at home is definitely full. So after I go through a day of doing a radio show that is listened to by 5 or 6 people at any given time, I go home and hang out with my only good friend, my kitten Sadie, who loves me, gives me all kinds of attention, hangs out, plays with me, and then I go home, or I go to bed, and I cry softly at night. So I've had my share of public letdowns, but I know I made fun of Niles, and I know some of you aren't very happy about it, but let's be honest. We're all big Husker fans. I'm a huge Husker fan, been very passionate about it. In fact, back in 2007 when we played Missouri, I was so worked up about that game. I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but I will. I cried about that game. But we've all cried about sports. Frankly, it's the only thing I have ever cried about. So I think that proves a little bit about my passion for the Huskers. I truly am a big fan of Niles Paul. I'm a big fan of the Huskers, and I hope he turns it around, not for my sake or the team's sake, but for his sake, because he could really do something special, not only at this level, but at the next level as well. That's going to do it for this week's podcast. I'll have another one going for you just as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't be afraid to tune into the show. If you don't like it the first time you listen to it again. If you still don't like it, listen to it a third time. I promise you'll come around. Have a great week, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.